Moving on to the next story, going up on a nice clip here. So Overwatch 2 is the story that keeps on giving for us, Zero. If you don't know, if you only listen to us on our podcast, if you do, thank you very much. We also post our segments on YouTube. So if you want to just listen to a specific segment on YouTube, you can. That's, of course, at Capital Games. Well, what we've started noticing is all of our views have been on Overwatch 2 for some strange reason. And we know why, because Overwatch 2, even though it is a popular franchise, has not been doing very well in the limelight as of recently. And I think this is going to make things a lot worse for Overwatch 2 to come out. It was announced today through an article through VGC that it will take 100 matches you have to play at 100 matches in order to unlock all the Overwatch characters. So essentially, you get the original Overwatch characters from when it first came out, but then in order to unlock, let's say, Sombra or Doomfist, or I don't know the rest of them, Wrecking Ball, the hamster in the ball is the one that I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. But in order to unlock all the ones that you are aware of now, it would take at least 100 matches to unlock them. Zero, what do you think of the tactics they're using on their free-to-play version of Overwatch?
Oof, just 100 matches is a lot to grind.
Right.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it because there's really no way to sugarcoat it. From a business sense, I get the reason why, because you get the players on that treadmill of, hey man, you've just got 40 more matches, and you've got the rest of the roster unlocked for the new characters and everything.
Yeah,
it's a great way to kind of get people interested. I totally get it, but at the same time, it's also kind of shitty too, because of course, just you're forcing the players to suffer through this and go, you want those new characters? Well, you're gonna have to put your ass into it and just play out these matches, win or lose, and as long as everything goes smoothly for your 100 matches, then you'll be quickly on your track to unlock these characters.
Yeah, like I don't get this really. If you came from Overwatch and going to Overwatch 2, already you're pissed because not only are you not allowed to play Overwatch anymore when this comes out, because they are shutting down Overwatch 1 when Overwatch 2 is released. Let's say your main is Doomfist. Now you can't play him until you play 100 matches? That's terrible. Like that's really not a good thing. Now, unless these matches are a lot shorter than what they are on Overwatch 1, which may be a possibility because it's now a 5v5 and not a 6v6. But even then, you're then saying, oh, but my main was Doomfist, and now I can't play him until I do 30 matches or 40 matches with somebody else. I mean, that sucks. That's terrible. And have they talked about if these guys will be available for purchase immediately, or are they have to be unlocked through grinding?
That's the interesting part. I haven't really seen any sort of official statement on how this is going to work, but yeah, just the thought of maybe they have like some unlock vouchers in for you in the beginning saying, hey, you can unlock a couple characters or whatever, but the rest you're going to have to sit and grind them out. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's really been no official statement by Blizzard, and Blizzard, as much as I hate to concede and say this, they're playing this smart by keeping this to the chest to minimize any potential anger. But they'll have to say something soon, because technically the game goes live on October 4th.
Right, and they're saying this is part of a first time user experience. So in order to actually use, let's say, competitive mode or in-game chat, they're locked until you grind a certain amount of games. If this is a first-time user... Yeah. Well, I hate using chat, so I don't care personally, but I understand people find that annoying. But my thing would be this, okay? let's say you have 1,000 games in Overwatch 1. Why can't those stats carry over to 2 and go, oh, you know how to play this game. Here's all the characters. Here's everything. Boom, go. Like, if you're requiring people who've been playing this game for a long time to go through the first-time user experience in order to do this, that's not a good move at all. Because then you're telling your loyal base that, yeah, you're... Not that you're on the level of everyone else, which that is kind of what they're saying, but also you're going to have to do the same thing that someone who's brand new to the game has to do. We don't care that you've had 1,000, 2,000 hours in this game. I don't care if you're a pro player. You have to do the same thing everyone else does. And if I were a player, I played a lot of Overwatch when it first came out. So I guess that includes me to a certain extent. If I was someone who kept playing it and was dedicated to the game, that pissed me off. Like, to not be able to play, let's say, a main that I have, like Bridget. Like, let's say Bridget is my support main. Like, now I can't use her until I unlock her. That sucks. That's terrible. The original characters should just be unlocked, in my opinion. Just unlock them, because the only way that anyone will learn how to play the game is if they find a character they like and use it. That's the only way. And for them to lock certain characters down in order for them to play the other characters that maybe they don't like is not a good move, design-wise either. Because what if they say, oh, well, I guess McCree is okay, but I don't really like him, and I think Winston sucks, and I think all these characters kind of suck, so I'm going to stop playing. You don't know that if they got, let's say... I don't know these characters. Let's say they got one of the unlockable characters, and that turned out to be the character they liked. You're now risking where they won't be able to access that character until they play a number of matches of playing characters that they clearly don't like. I think that's a terrible decision to do, especially for people who've been playing the game for a long time. If they're new, I'm kind of okay with it, but I would definitely limit the competitive mode, like 50 matches until then you can unlock competitive mode. Fine, I'm cool with that. Like, that's cool. But characters, bad move in my opinion.
It's actually honestly kind of weird because Splatoon 2, or excuse me, Splatoon 3 actually learned something for once, because if you apparently have played Splatoon 2, then the game will actually use your save data and basically say, oh, it looks like you've played quite a bit of Splatoon, so we're going to give you a bunch of levels because of your previous play experience, and as a bonus, we'll also give you a bunch of XP so you can put towards like weapons and stuff, and then you also get a bunch of gold vouchers, which these vouchers will allow you to unlock advanced later level weapons immediately. And it just seems like they took what Splatoon 2 was doing, and they were just like, hey, yeah, just forcing the players to slave it out and just play through this new player experience. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's just like, no, that's a terrible idea. And that's why the developers behind Splatoon 3 were just like, yeah, let's not reward or let's not punish players who have been longtime Splatoon fans with basically saying, oh, you have to start back over from ground zero.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like to me.
Right. And that's what I hate about sports games. Like, if you have played like the previous game, you don't get any bonus from the next game at all. Like, I play MLB The Show, and every year I have to start over and collect all the cards from the game in order to get the better players, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they don't offer you, let's say, more packs for completing your collection from last year, or they don't offer you like different things because you played the game and you played it for X amount of time and did X amount of things from the next game. They don't offer anything to you. They don't really reward you for being loyal. They just say, oh, new game, start it over, bitch. And I'm like, oh, great. Thanks. And that's essentially what Overwatch 2 is doing right now. It's like, oh, well, it's a new game, so, yep, start all over, bye. And that's it. I mean, they still allow you to use all the skins, which, okay, is good because there are people who spent a lot of money getting those stupid loot boxes in order to get those skins. But yeah, this is not a good look. This is like more and more that I'm learning about the free to play version of this game, the more and more I'm starting to realize that I don't think they know what they're doing to a certain extent and what makes their base happy. So it's going to be
Yeah.
good.
I was going to say, for the sake of journalistic integrity, I'll probably investigate the game
Yeah.
when it goes free to play, just for the sake of. But
Yeah, same here.
yeah, I just foresee myself having a miserable time, especially with this whole, oh, you want to unlock everything? Well, you're gonna have to grind it out. I'm just not looking forward to that, and I definitely foresee myself dropping the game rather quickly as a result. Unfortunately.
I don't know really. I mean, if the game is as long per match as it was the first game, you're looking at hundreds of hours in order to
Yeah.
hit every character. Maybe the matches are shorter because it's a 5v5. Maybe. So I don't entirely know, but if it's the same as it was on the previous Overwatch, yeah, this is going to be kind of a grind. And they better have a lot for you to do in order to, gain more stuff and to do more stuff except for playing matches. Because if all it is, okay, get into another match. Okay, get into another match. Okay, get into another match. Like, at that point, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop. Like, if that's all you're offering, and I have to just grind and grind and grind, forget it. I'll be like you. I'll be done, like, fairly quickly.
Yeah, I will say this though. If they don't do what Multiversus just did on their latest patch, which for anyone who doesn't know, the new Multiversus version 1.03 patch, they are scaling back the rewards leading up to level 15 because apparently they've been unhappy with how fast people been burning levels through leveling up a character to unlock their perks. So yeah, now the grind to level 15 will take more experience and will give you less stuff.
Ugh.
So yeah, I mean, if Blizzard doesn't have much of a plan on how to meter the rewards to keep players on that a wonderful grind treadmill that they seem to like, then yeah, nothing good will come from Overwatch 2.
God, that's terrible. Okay, I understand that you want to keep people invested in the game as long as possible, but to then make the grind grindier without some kind of reward base set into it is a terrible move. Honestly, I would have kept it the way it is, but then my opinion is that they are going to update those specific tiers for those characters to add more stuff into it so you can grind more. Then make the next stage of that grindier. Do that. Like, let's say I think it's at level 15, you get everything for each character. Then let's say if they bump it up to 25 for like the next set, okay? Then make from 16 to 25 grindier. Do that. Don't then say, okay, well, we're going to have to take away stuff from you in order to make you play more. That's shitty. That's a terrible experience. Because then you're now then the people who no life the game are still gonna get rewarded, and the ones that don't have as much time but are still enjoying their game are getting punished. That's terrible. That's a bad idea.
That was kind of my first thought with just seeing the news post that you had shared with me before the show about how it'll take 100 matches to unlock all the characters. I was just like, well, they better have a very engaging reward track,
yes.
or else it's going to be like Multiversus, and you're going to have more players drop because they're just going to look at the grind and go, "Wow, that's not fun. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, you better have a sexy Tracer skin then. Yeah, that will never happen. But anyway, yeah, they've got to do something in order to offset the grind to make it worth it. Because I don't really see how this is a good thing, to be completely honest. For the user, I would say. For the developer, oh hell yeah! Like, it means more engagement on their game. But I don't see how a user would actually get a lot from this. So, yeah, this is a bad move all around. Thank you for listening to this podcast segment. The Capital Games podcast is done every week, and we post it on all your favorite podcast apps, as well as segments on YouTube. If you want to listen to another segment, you can listen to a new one right there on the screen. We also do a movie podcast called the Capital Games Movie Club. If you'd like, you can go ahead and click on that and see all the movies that we have reviewed from that point. Thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from you soon.